let's wait to do the show. We'll do it in a second.
It's
all right.
Hit the wrong button.
Things happen. Everything's okay, guys. All right.
It is. It is. Right back in there.
They like this. I'll leave this in for the YouTube. They like the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes thing. We are professionals. There you go.
All right, here we go. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host.
Yeah.
And we're live on a Saturday morning ready to do some feedback. The official weapon of the show is the folding chair, and the unofficial sport, and bullet ball extreme. This is a feedback show where you guys have a lot to say, and we're going to get to all the things you had to say. We did 3 episodes this week, and you guys left 3 episodes worth of feedback. You leave comments everywhere you see in the show notes, from the voicemail line to the emails to the YouTube to our website. All that stuff is there. Don't forget, on Patreon and our website in 3 days, the official return of the annual Black Friday sale comes up.
Automatic renewal if you already signed up.
If you already signed up, nothing you need to do. It'll automatically renew. If not, then you can sign up fresh. It's $100 for the whole year, a premium $8 a month, essentially, to get behind a paywall. And we work hard, meaning we've been up since 8 a.m. today doing premium shows, pre-games and balls deep. Thursday, we did a late night recap, spoiled review of The Running Man. You get your money's worth with our Patreon. We're not like these other Patreons where they be like, you might get something if we feel like it every once in a while, maybe we'll see. And we do have multiple tiers. We have the just a tip, and then we have the full behind the scenes, the full everything. The full everything is the one that's on sale, and it'll be on sale. Just a tip, $5 a month. You get 1 bonus episode per week of something. So that I say all that to let you know, 3 days when the sale comes back. If you haven't been curious about signing up, but you're like, I don't know, $15 a month is expensive, or whatever, go sign up now through Patreon on the 18th, and you can start. Get that. It's $100 for a whole year.
Yeah, it's the Patreon and through the website. But the Patreon is from this point forward. If you want everything we ever did, by everything behind the scenes, you have to do that through the website.
All right. Feedback. Let's get into this shit. All right, guys. We like to start with the people that took the time out of their busy days. Okay, they got a lot going on. I know you guys are very industrious individuals, and you say, hey, I go to the blackouttips.com and look on the right hand side. I just want to give these guys some money. They've been doing a good job, and I just want them to know that they don't owe me anything. Just here's some money, keep doing what you're doing, and we give you a shout out. That's right. New fees, new he-he's. I don't know, guys. I'm running out. Dr. Professor Bambi.
Shout out to Dr. Bambi.
Kyle K. David C. James C. The C family is all up in here. Jasmine J. YR Design. Palmetto Stone Magic. Alfonso M. Tiffany B. Josh Wanga from down under. Shout out to him all the way across the pond of the world, even the other side of the world. Okay, it's like opposite time over there. It's night time. It's tomorrow over there. Mm-hmm. And Marlon B. Yes, Marlon B. Thank you, everybody that took the time out to put a little something on our books so we can get new oatmeal cream pies. We appreciate you. But some of you niggas didn't leave no 5-star reviews. And you know that really burns our biscuits. No 5-star reviews since November the 2nd. which sounds like you about to get some commercials. All right. I hope you enjoyed that, you sons of bitches. Couldn't be
I generated that, so we don't know what you're going to get.
Just couldn't even be bothered to help us out. I was like,
nah, not this week.
I want these commercials. Well, are you happy now? I'll give you something to cry about. These commercials. All right, so let's get into the episodes. Episode 13182, Too Many Jamie Presleys. There's a lot of these Jamie Presleys out here, guys. I can't keep up with all of them. They're just out here Jamie Presley and being and stuff. 8 comments. The first one is from Apia. The red-headed wood pigeon still leaves me suspicious, as pigeons are seen as an invasive species elsewhere. For example, in Germany, it's a clear sign that he can make it on his own if he really tried. They also have a deal with cats, and clearly have found a way. Put yourself up by your wings or whatever. Your German cousins can do it, red-headed bird. At least he could try so much that he wouldn't need government assistance to survive. And for the German pigeons, I suggest red-head paint to them to get some special treatment and help instead of being seen as a problem. Sean replied, I did the force equations, and because you would need the same amount of downward force through your boots as you would to create upward lift, it is impossible to literally or figuratively pull oneself up by one's proverbial bootstraps. Baron Munchausen, whose fictional exploits originated the term, is the only person who was ever able to pull themselves up by his bootstraps. I think he was lying. That being said, I do not condone nor do I support the anti-pigeon racism. I mean, if they were white baby doves, and then you'd want to save them, now wouldn't you? Abia says, I'm here on record fighting for the majestic black dolphins.
They said the sound sounds wonky.
Oh, really? Okay, give me a second, everybody.
Frozen on my screen. Do I need to refresh, or is it you?
I don't know. Okay, let's see. Is the sound better now? Let me know in the chat room. I'll wait a minute or two. I know y'all need to reply. Am I still frozen on your end, Karen?
No, you're moving now.
Okay, it could have been. Okay, I sound regular now. Yeah, it must have been something with the recording. All right, well, it's fixed now. Back to Sean versus Apia. She says, I'm here on record for fighting for the majestic black dolphins, also called killer whales by racists. Exactly, sis. We done radicalized Apia, and I love it. The color, if the pigeon is not interesting to me, I'm just not impressed by his motivation, creativity, and work ethic. Sean says, sure, all pigeons are lazy. I see what you're doing. Nah, Sean, we're not gonna do that to Apia. Okay? You take up for these red-headed pigeons if you want to. Apia says, Mr. Apia's father turned right wing some years ago, and there is not much we can do. What we do, I told him that we absolutely don't agree. We will not discuss politics with him. We have the contact at the absolute minimum, seeing him maybe 2 times a year for 30 minutes. The sister of Mr. Apia shares our view. I see nothing else we could do. We will not give him a platform. He once tried some right-wing meme in a WhatsApp group, and I threatened him to throw him out. He didn't anymore, but I quietly retired the group anyway. What I will not do is try to convince him. He knows what he is doing. Exactly. They be knowing. I just think it's so infantilizing to be like, these racist people just don't have the right message from Bernie Sanders to reach them. Like, no, man, some people just racist, and you're not gonna beat them. You're not gonna convince them, and you're not gonna love them out of it. You just need to move on.
Their minds.
EVE says, I was one of those kids who didn't realize their family was getting government assistance. When I was a teenager, I had an offhand comment about people on Section 8, I heard. And my mom, that's even worse. You said it. And my mom got me right together when she said we were on Section 8 before my parents were able to save up for a house. I had no clue because the apartment we lived in was very nice in a really nice neighborhood. In my head, I thought Section 8 was like good times.
Right.
I had no idea, and it changed my perspective of the kind of people who use government assistance. I think kids don't realize what parents need to do to make sure they're taken care of until they're grown and have families of their own.
Right, and that's if they ever know. And that's the thing. A lot of people, even black and brown people, they live this lie that assistance is for everybody else but them and theirs, until somebody, like you say, busts that bubble. But hey, you out here talking shit. You are actually one of these people.
Also, I didn't realize until I got older that my grandmother was on some type of assistance as well. Just that when I was at her house, I had the best sandwiches because of the government cheese. I miss government cheese bread. It didn't quite melt like the other cheeses, but it sure was tasty. I'd love to have a block of it right now.
It don't quite melt right.
And that's why your ass like Arby's. There you go. That explains everything. Sometimes, it's crazy. You can circle around something for years, and be like, I don't understand where this person is coming from. But the kind of person that looks back at government cheese sandwiches fondly, that's a specific type of person. Because I remember the government cheese, and I remember that big thick bologna.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I could stop eating it, I did. Meaning, I have none in my house right now.
That bologna, that's thick as a T-bone steak. Yes, you have to cut the sides so it'll roll up on you.
Yeah,
I ate a lot of that as a kid.
and I realized I have not fucked with that since I could afford to not fuck with it. So yeah, but thank you. You now make a lot more sense to me. I get it. You know what? I'm gonna leave you alone. Enjoy your government cheese Arby's sandwiches. It's probably great for you. You love it. Sean says, I was in the Head Start program, summer programs, up until some bastard cuck D-list celebrity with age-related mental infirmity decided to put summer programs on the cutting block. I know it's not healthy to hold a grudge, but fuck Reagan and may he rot in hell. Yeah, a lot of people don't even count that stuff as government programs too, which is so interesting, right?
Like you said, like Head Start and like pre-K stuff and things like that. It saves parents a lot of money for daycare and things like that versus them having to pay,
or just you're getting the education on a level that maybe like a private school typically gives kids, or some advancement and you're not paying extra for it. But I was in those classes, and in my mind I would not have thought to myself like, oh, that's government assistance. But no, it is essentially, we saw you were a kid that needed a little bit more specialized and advanced curriculum, and we made sure you got it through the public school system.
Made sure you got it.
Lastly, Lily from Brooklyn says, hey Rod and Karen, I too work in the same building as John Oliver. I didn't know until we were on the elevator together the day after the election when I told the security guard downstairs that I was on the elevator with him, and he said, yeah, his office has been upstairs for like 10 years. This is my second year in the building, and I'm not in the entertainment field, so I had no idea he was here or the show you worked on was here. Yeah, we guess never crossed paths because if you only been there 2 years, game theory's been off more than 2 years. But yeah, small world in my Robin Harris voice. Last month I saw Russell Wilson in the lobby, and he was super friendly too and handsome. A coworker saw David Letterman across the street. One day Beanie Siegel came to our office. I work with court involved youth. Also, please don't use my real name. What? Oh, so she sent an email, and the email has your government name on it. What I had to do was copy and paste this to our website so that I wouldn't say your real name. But let me tell you, if the best way for this, I emailed her back because she had been leaving voicemails. You can continue to leave voicemails, call yourself whatever. It's not like I'm gonna put your phone number out there. Or if you either have to change your email address so that it doesn't say your name, because that's what I see first. And when I'm doing this show and there's so many of y'all that write in and leave comments, at some point I'm on autopilot and I can't remember which individual person's like, no, don't say this, use that. Because it's so many of y'all, it's easier what I would suggest is you create an account on the blackouttips.com and leave comments there under whatever username, and that'll be the easiest thing.
Right, because then you see your username. That's right.
That's easier. So anyway, YouTube, let's see what we got here. 9 comments. All right. Sharon says, hey, Karen and Rod, love the show. Rod, you are right. Leonard is an operative. What he said is straight up right-wing GOP target point. Yeah, he's paid for it. Thank you for all you do. No problem. And my problem with him is not so much that the idea of saying like, yo, this shutdown is hurting people and their families, and when it comes to an end, it hopefully will give a lot of people relief. My problem wasn't that. It was, one, it's Charlemagne, so you know when they do stuff like that, he is the guy on the other side who's like, y'all are weak. This is why people don't vote for y'all. This is why nobody likes Democrats. Why couldn't y'all be like Republicans? So he is that guy, and today he's saying one thing, he will absolutely say the other thing the next day. That was a big part of it. And then the second part of it was, if I remember, the conversation started about the airports, and that just felt like, well, now I'm going to be inconvenienced because I travel. I use airlines. Democrats, can y'all call this one on home? It didn't feel like any principled stance to me. Jamario says, love the show. I'm taking the word is obscuring the problem framing. I will try to give you all credit. Thank you. Yeah, and that's my thing that I've said on this show a bunch of times about, like, people say it's the word, but it's the meaning. And we just wait for the meaning to catch up to the new phrasing, and then we're like, oh, it's this word, we have to get rid of this word, and then we do it again.
Don't matter what you call it, if the meaning and the feeling and the definition behind it is the same, the word is not the problem.
Leonardo says, please post your episodes even if it is messed up. I love hearing both of your thoughts. I thought you all went corporate with the embedded ads and smiled each time one played because I hope y'all was getting paid. We wasn't. That's another problem with all them damn ads. I ain't getting nothing from that. Yeah, because it's just the audio I uploaded to Headliner, and then they must have thrown them ads in there. That's not normal on our YouTube feed.
No, that's not.
So they got the money. I ain't get shit.
Saying. Yeah, so they did the chopping and screwing, right?
Yeah, when I throw ads in on Spotify or whatever y'all listen to later, that's 100% coming to us at least, or well, 50%. But you know what I mean. On another note, I moved to Delaware about 8 years ago, and America might not know, but we are one of the blackest states, and Biden was our senator. But he also grew up across the border in PA in coal country, so he was able to relate to them. When Kamala took over, I knew it was up in the air because PA is also known as Pennsyltucky outside of the cities, and some of them would rather die than see a black woman run this country. Also, Dr. Umar School is not too far from where Biden lives. Delaware is small, and we all voted in the first trans congresswoman. The Dems messed up. I thought the pivot would have been our old guy versus yours. If Joe checked out, we would get Kamala. I agree. I don't think they should have taken Biden out. But that's, I think we all here, for the most part, would have voted for whoever the Democrats put up. But a lot of people just decided they didn't need that. Dr. Umar School, not too far from where Biden lives. Can I see some pictures? Are the kids there yet? Is it a school or is it an empty building?
Sojourner Truth and MLK Boulevard.
Yeah, I need to see. I need more evidence. Provocative AF says, sup gang gang. I've been having reservations about Charlemagne. He disgusts me, bro. I love the show. I appreciate when you and Karen rip these wussies a new one. Forgive the profanity. Imagine write a song about these guys. Man, this show brought up the C4 and a lighter. I no longer will window shop for podcasts anymore. I get everything returned here. This was deep. Thank you both. Appreciate you. Joseph says, hey y'all, I like y'all to post the episodes anyway, despite what the ads that come with it. Also, another cherry on top of the election Sunday is that JD Vance's brother lost the mayoral race in Cincinnati. Yeah, we don't want JD Vance, and we definitely don't want his fucking offspring like his brother. JJ says, Rod, thank you for correcting me on Jesse Waters' evil self. Ugh, I actually saw that damn Chinatown segment before but forgot. Just yuck. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I'm not really I try not to occupy too much of the like remember when space, because a lot of times with certain people it's like
everyone's fucked up somewhere, and it's, but some of these motherfuckers is just virulently bad people, and they're constantly still doing bad shit, and they're never getting better. And Jesse Waters, I definitely remember my first introduction was that weird racial prank, whatever he was doing that was just racist. And I remember dismissing him as like, God, what a fucking loser. To think that the right wing saw him and said, we need to make him the new Tucker Carlson.
We need to make him somebody.
How desperate and racist can you be?
Right. That means y'all don't have no talent.
He's not even funny.
No, he's not.
But I wanted to comment on your thoughts about how white men were running wild back in the day with these movie scripts, especially Basic Instinct. When I was finally old enough to watch that damn movie, I was furious because of that. Of course, that bitch was the killer. Oh my God. I wasn't even scandalized by the sex. I was like, how are they so confused if she did it or not? She definitely did it. She wrote a book about it.
This was so over the top. It was just ridiculous.
She did write a book about it. Yeah, that was crazy. Like, what was the tension in that? Yeah, now that I remember the movie, it's like, what was the tension? That's how. But see, you know what, I was like 14 or something at the time, so all that tape was to me was like the minute marks where there was fucking.
Yeah,
other than that, I didn't care about the film. I was just like, okay, so when do they, like, didn't he like pull the panties off with his teeth? What minute mark is that? That's the most important part of the plot to me. I don't really need to know. I think
we weren't really concerned about the plot twist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was her with the screwdriver or the ice pick or whatever the fuck. But who cares at a time like this when titties are out? Also, that was the first time I heard somebody black being referenced to as a spook. That movie had a bunch of racist, sexist shit going on. Woo, thank you for letting me get that out. Love y'all. Thank you, JJ. Christoph says, keep posting the episodes regardless of the amount of ads or lack of video. Y'all are my favorites. Yeah, it shouldn't happen often if, like it only happens if a bunch of shit falls through on our end. That was just crazy because I hit the record button apparently to start the show, which I never do. That's not what I'm supposed to do. That's when I play music and stuff. Then I hit the record button to start when I start recording with Karen, and we're like, hey, how you doing, blah blah. Apparently I hit it twice, meaning I hit it when I wasn't supposed to, then I hit it again, which stopped it. So you only got me playing music for 15 minutes and no show. So that's why I couldn't even upload anything from the actual Crowdcast, but we figured it out. And lastly, Jen says, I say post anyway, but I will say 90% of my ads were Bernie ads, which I found hilarious for y'all's podcast specifically. Never hit fast forward so fast. Bernie. Anyway, thank you everybody for the comments, and that was very, and shout out to y'all on YouTube following instructions. That's actually very educational for next time. Right. If this does ever happen again, I will post the audio to YouTube just so that y'all don't miss an episode, because my first thought was to just be like, sorry I messed up, there is no episode for today's show, go listen to the regular feed. But okay, got y'all. And Spotify, we have sometimes get comments on there. Let's see if we got any on this one. Audience comments 2. Okay, say Feckless one more time, Rod, says Shoe Booty. Feckless, the motherfuckers is Feckless. And then I'm said, he says, I had to look up Feckless, LOL.
Shout out to you. Yeah. We're like, wait a minute, we using these words, what does it mean?
Yeah, shout out to both of y'all. I appreciate y'all.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. All right, let's get to the next episode, but first y'all gonna get some more commercials. I forgot to mention the poll. Do you play video games? 58% yes, 41% no. Because I've been playing a lot of video games lately.
Yeah, I love video games. I think video games is one of my few pastimes. I play video games like a lot as an adult, but I think when I had my GameCube when I was in college, and I think that like hours invested in that Zelda game that came on that GameCube, I played it for unlimited amount of times. Like, I love playing video games. I think for me, it's always been my escape from reality.
Yeah, I enjoy video games. They're fun. And honestly, of all the shit that we could be doing with our time, video games feels like, at this point, one of the least harmless ones.
Right.
It gets scapegoated a lot because whenever there's like a mass shooting, they're like, he was a gamer. I'm like, well, maybe he was playing different games than me. Like, y'all never say that about Mario Brothers. All right, episode 3183, Hillbilly Fight Club. EVE says, Karen, you mentioned how your rice never comes out as good as Rod's. Rice has always been a challenge for me, no matter if I put the correct measurements in the pot or not. And then my girlfriend gifted me a small rice cooker. It wasn't one of those fancy ones with all the buttons, just one that turns on and off. That rice cooker changed my life. My rice always comes out perfect. I ended up accidentally breaking the one I was gifted and bought a replacement for $20, so they're not expensive unless you want one of the fancy ones. It's worth the investment if it's something you're interested in.
Me?
I'm the rice cooker, so no, she's not gonna get it. I already know that. 2, I don't like rice cooker rice. I actually think it's not that good. And you know, maybe it's my own hubris or whatever, but I think
just like I can do it better.
I don't like the what was that thing called, the something pot?
Oh, the Instapot.
I don't like the Instapot rice either. It's not good to me. Like, it really does not taste as good as the rice I can make myself.
Yeah, I think the Instapot, is different than the rice cooker, but yes.
And people will be like, oh, with the Instapot, you can cook the rice on the bottom and the meat. I tasted it and I was like, no, this is not as good as the rice
is like, I can do anything. The rice cooker, like, my only job is rice.
Maybe it's just the rice I cook and the rice I make. I'm not saying all y'all are wrong. I'm just saying it ain't for me, but we did give it a shot. But I think rice cookers are great, especially when you want to save time. People that got families and stuff. It's just us, and I don't mind taking the time to make the rice the way I like, and add and change some things. And plus, honestly, Karen likes her rice a little bit more softer than the rice settings from like most of the just regular instructions for how to make rice. She doesn't like it as
it tastes grainy.
So I
know that sounds weird, but
if it's like use a cup of water, sometimes I use like a cup and a fourth. Like, so anyway, that Six Flags that recently closed was my first summer job. I worked in the food section, and that's where I learned to never be mean to the people handling your food. I never did it myself, but many of my coworkers would drop the food on the floor and serve it anyway. There was one guy who spit in this guy's cheese fries because the customer was a dick. That's why to this day I'm always nice to people who handle my food. Although you should be kind to people regardless, you really shouldn't fuck with people in food service. The best part of working there was going there for free on my days off with my friends and riding the rides for free. I'll miss that place. Abia says, I have never seen the We the People tattoos, but after a quick search, I share Rod's opinion. Very suspicious. Yeah, I guess in Germany y'all wouldn't have it because it's definitely about our constitution.
Yes.
So like, I don't know how racist you got to be in a whole nother country and put we the people and it's not in your constitution.
Right.
I just imagine a person looking at their arm and thinking, nice arm with all the functions and it even looks okay, but it's missing something, a big we the people tattoo.
That's what I'm missing.
In case I ever forget what we are. Bonus, as sex is extra kinky and makes it look as though there are more of us at work. Perfect. Well, at that point, I feel like that means you and whoever you're having sex with are the we, right? It's like we are the people right now. Justin says, I also went to the Ball Brothers tour. I was wondering if I would see y'all and was looking out for y'all. Well, we did run into several people, and there were people that said, I actually posted a completely different picture on our Instagram about a movie we just saw, The Running Man, and someone was like, I saw y'all at the Ball Brothers tour. So I was like, I guess we did get spotted.
Right.
It was nice though. Everybody on stage were funny, but to hear jokes about going to the bathroom had me rolling because I used to be that type of person that held it in until I got home. But the older I got, I can't.
Yeah, your body be like, try it if you want to.
Nah, to hear is funny as hell. That's the second time I've seen him close on that little person bit, and I still don't know how he gets away with that.
Me either.
I mean, people laugh, it's funny, but I was like, I'll be looking around the audience like, is everybody on page the same?
With this.
Okay.
But it's hilarious. I don't care. I know it's fucked up. Don't care.
Yeah, it's definitely. Sean says, are you the person to call in the High William Fight Club was a mine? Oh, are you sure the person to call in that Hillbilly Fight Club was a minor? I think it may have been an older guy trying to keep his parlay by ending the fights early.
Not the parlay.
Maybe. I don't know how much they was betting on them fights. Never know.
You don't get 3 punches.
I still think it was
under.
I still think it was a kid who got beat up, because I feel like of all the people that want to call and wrap this shit up, it's gonna be a kid that has to keep getting beat up every day.
Yep, and got tired of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired of these adults.
I am 12. Okay, this is way above any shit I want to do.
Right.
Absent Minded says, I'm not surprised that Six Flags America has closed, but it didn't happen. But just that it didn't happen sooner. I'm born and raised in Baltimore, so I've been there several times during all the rebranding. It was Wild World when I was in elementary school, Adventure World during middle school, and Six Flags America in high school. My family and friends and I had good times there, but it definitely got a bad reputation in the later years. Fights breaking out and safety concerns in the water park area. I preferred the Six Flags in New Jersey because they had more rides. My former employer represented an insurance company in various lawsuits with Six Flags. Reading a few of the filings and claims about Six Flags was crazy. Some of the claims were merited, but others were ridiculous, scamming from everyone, including the insurance company. Your podcast helped me get through the work days there. A much needed escape. Keep the shows coming. Love y'all. Thank you. What a small world. So many of y'all have Six Flags connections.
Yeah, that's not a Six Flags near us. I don't think I've ever been to a Six Flags.
Yeah,
like any of them.
I went to one in Atlanta with my aunt one time, but it was a long time ago. All right, and then YouTube comments. Alicia Nicole says, we the people as white peoples, they not like us.
That's hilarious.
Yes, Alicia. That's a punch up of a joke. That's like writer's room shit. Like, that took my concept, simplified it into just perfection. We the people as white people, they not like us. So good. That's great, Alicia. Shane Cago says the Ball Brothers tour is hilarious. I bet they went off in person. They really did. Look up the Big Candace story, the woman they brought on stage and found out she went to prison. Hilarious. I will. I couldn't believe how many people was willing to just tell their stories up there.
Yes.
Ellisco says that Hillbilly Fight Club story is basically part of Peacemaker's origin story. It is. It is. If you watch Peacemaker, that is part of his origin story.
Oh no.
Damien says nothing shows that this regime can't govern than closing down airspace and canceling flights. Corinna says, I got to see the Ball Brothers when they came to Detroit last month. Kev, Tony, Tahir, and Brandon had my stomach hurting from laughing. A good time was had. Mike says, my first thought about Six Flags fold was for sure private equity, and I actually commented, and then the next minute you all said it. It's so predictable now, and here we are. Like, how much money do these motherfuckers need / want? Right.
And what ends up losing, the product ends up being crappy, and then the customers end up not getting what they want, and then they end up, like they said, that shitification of it, and then they set it off to somebody. And what happens a lot of times, like a cycle, if the person comes and actually takes care of it and build it up and turns it into something, then you have a completely other company that will come and literally do the same thing to these companies again and again. That's why I said in these regulations.
Damien says, my black ass would not be caught dead at a Hillbilly Fight Club. Rule number 1, don't talk about Hillbilly Fight Club.
No, you don't.
If a black person showed up at Hillbilly Fight Club, it will become Hillbilly You Just Got Jumped Club. I don't think we are invited, and I don't think we're showing up.
I don't think we are invited either.
Jason says, I've never wanted to give any slack to the NFL, Fox, or billionaire team owners, but nobody wanted Trump up in that booth. The Commanders basically have to do whatever he wants until the stadium is built. Until I find out otherwise, my deepest sympathies for Jonathan Vilma. That footage was more incriminating than his Bounty Gate case. I almost hope for his sake that he is a coon. Otherwise, there's some bad game film he put out. The funny part is, since Bobby Jr. has ruined RFK name so bad, I'm cool with them renaming the new stadium, but naming the athletic stadium after Trump is one troll too far.
Right.
Honestly, at this point, if I'm have stadium rights that I'm trying to sell the name, like naming rights to, I'm going to somewhere where I can make money. Like nobody's judging crypto.com at this point. Just go get the money. Don't like forget the president. You don't get no money off of the president naming rights.
Yeah, unless you gonna pay.
Yeah. Spotify, we got 3 comments. 132, I am my mama. I needed that LOL this morning, says Dio. There's a reply to it, but for some reason it's not showing me the reply. Jay says, I went to the Ball Brothers tour in Atlanta and loved it. I was so impressed by how they were able to be funny just off the top of their heads. I would definitely see them again. Yeah, highly recommend. They were part of my what to watch list on Karen Hunter's show, because I was like, if you're in the local area where they're coming, you should go see it, because every show is different, and we had a great time.
We had a ball.
Meat says, when Diddy gets pardoned, he is going to purchase slides from Six Flags and drench them in baby oil. Injuries will mount. Guests will end up private equity-owned hospitals, be force-fed, RFK-approved meds, be given a bill they can't afford, and have to file for bankruptcy through Broke File Broke Incorporated. Jesus.
That's
also probably true.
hilarious.
But yeah, that was good, man. And yeah, I'm sorry whoever replied to Dio that I can't see your comment. It just says Jay in one reply. So the poll for this episode, have you ever been to Six Flags? 84% of our audience has. 16% has not.
That means
wow.
That means it's scattered across the, you know what I mean, like more places. But because we've always had Carowinds in this general area. I've been to Carowinds. I've been to Disney World, and I think for me, if I went to other ones, I don't remember. Yeah,
this is interesting. I've been there, but I had no idea so many people had been there.
Because it's a family destination for kids. It's like, and it's still expensive as shit, but I could see why a lot of people, particularly I know around here, and it's probably like that at these places, you just buy a season pass, your children get old enough and phase out, and then you just don't go as much.
The last episode of the week is 3184, all over McChicken. We got 2 comments. Ernest.com says, for me, it's the McChicken, best fast food sandwich. I think you just like mayonnaise.
And I do too. I love a McChicken. A McChicken and an orange soda. I'm black. McChicken and an orange soda and a fry. That is me. Or a McFish sandwich and an orange soda and a fry. I know.
It's just a fillet of fish, number one. But number two, the reason I'm looking at you like that is because we go to McDonald's when you don't order those things. What are you talking about?
Because a lot of times we just get like chicken nuggets. We're not getting like a meal.
But you can order anything. And you love it, Karen. You just said you love it.
I do.
And you don't order it. That doesn't make sense.
You know, and
what kind of love is that? Is that how you love me? Don't love me the way you love the McChicken that you never get.
I think the biggest reason why, because my budget done went up for a little bit. So I like, you know what? Let me get these McNuggets and split it right. I'm trying to be healthy, brother.
Oh, that's healthy. Splitting that pink paste. I don't want to hear no excuses. If you want a McChicken or filet of fish, they do have the McCrispy for those of y'all that are fancy and want actual chicken in your chicken.
I don't want no. I guess I don't want no real chicken. Cause what the fuck want a McCrispy?
Well, you're not getting McChickens either. You're not ordering those. I don't know who are you? You just be saying stuff to our audience.
I do not.
They think it's a whole nother person out here that they gonna walk up to you like, Karen, I got McChickens because you love them. And you be like, oh, I would never eat that bullshit. No, I don't want no McChickens. I'm gonna go to a place with actual food. Evie says, I don't understand the Sydney Sweeney hype. And I'm not one of those people who don't think all white women look basic. I just think Sydney is a plain white woman with a nice body. I think how some white men view any blonde white woman is how some black men view light-skinned black women. Black women deal with colorism while white women deal with hair colorism, I guess. I mean, Angelina Jolie is standing right there. Now that, in my opinion, is a drop-dead gorgeous white woman. It's always difficult to talk about desirability and stuff because I just feel like everybody has such different personal preferences, and there are some huge societal factors that affect what we give voice to, maybe not even our desires, but definitely what desires we're comfortable talking about in public.
Right.
That being said, as a black man who, I'm attracted to all kinds of people, she got some big ass titties. It's not even like this one's a layup. It's not complicated. It ain't deep. She got big ass titties and she be pulling them out for her roles. That's
kind of the end.
That is a science that has never been defeated at the box office or anywhere else. Like, it really don't matter who the actor is. If they just keep pulling big ass titties out, you're going to start having an affinity for them. Society will catch on. They'll be like, ooh, you know who I'm into. I remember Alexandria Daddario pulled out her titties and True Detective season 1, like episode 4 or something. I forget, a minute mark 46. And she became a star. To many of she was like, oh, okay, what else she in? Now I don't know that she even pulled them titties out for them other roles. Like maybe, like she was. I remember she was like The Rock's daughter or some shit in San Andreas, and it's a PG-13 G-rated movie about The Rock fighting a goddamn earthquake. And at some point I was like, so she just not gonna pull her titties out? I really paid this whole the $10 and she didn't think it was titty time no more?
It's
okay.
PG-13, sir.
I know, it's a joke, Karen. I didn't really actually go to the movie thinking about titties. I wasn't even really anticipating titties. I actually don't go to movies in real life to look at titties, Karen. So this was a whole bunch of a joke. But now that you've whipped off decided to rip off
the joke?
the whole veneer of the premise, then
I'm
sure,
so
let's just
sorry.
be 100% literal.
We gonna get the letters now?
Yeah. No, we won't get no letters. They don't write letters when you do this to me. They write letters when I do this to you. So anyway, guys, I don't actually really care. I get to see titties all the time on my phone and computers and stuff. But that is the secret to Sydney Sweeney. She got some big ass titties. And she, and I also think part of it is accentuated by the fact that we became kind of a sexless society for a few years in the Me Too movement era.
We did.
Where maybe we overcorrected to like nobody should ever be sexualized, which was not even realistic or sustainable.
No, it wasn't.
And I think she was on the first wave of these starlets that were like, I'm sex positive, by which I mean here are my titties and my crotch and my ass. Like, please look at me have sex on screen. And because not a lot of people were making that kind of art at the time, it kind of jumped into a different level of star for her than I think than it did for other starlets.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things where you were talking about, that's why a lot of women are the forefront and speaking out. But before it would be the men talking about it, but it's like the women got to be like, I want to be desired. I want to fuck. This was my choice. Nobody forced me to do anything.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've had so many examples of men who are just bad actors.
Yes.
And I don't mean bad as in acting on the screen. I mean, they're bad actors in that, like James Franco is like, ladies, y'all want to audition? Let's get naked. And it's like, so now you got to have women come out and almost run fullback for the movie to be like, there's gonna be a lot of nudity in this movie and I wanted every scene. If anything, I wanted more.
Right.
I saw Jennifer Lawrence just did a movie and we did this on White People News, but she just did like this full like intimacy coordinator, schmintimacy coordinator. I need these. We was fucking, and that's because I love Robert Pattinson and he's not creepy at all. I'm like, all right, we get it. You're gonna be naked in this movie and you don't want us to make it a thing. Understood. Right,
but it's like almost to the overcorrecting one way for just make everybody just straight laced and non-sexual to over the correction the other way where everything is like super sexual. Right? Yeah, and so she benefited from that, but I think her and this like MAGA adjacent thing she's trying to pull off, I just think it was a bad career move. Now look, this is her. She might have these convictions and believe all this MAGA shit. Like a lot of people are assuming it was some sort of like financial pivot or whatever, but she might just really be a true believer in conservatism. Whatever it is,
I'm just think it's a bad pivot because conservative people don't really support the arts.
No, they don't.
They just don't.
They don't support the arts.
Like, they hate, quote unquote, Hollywood. And even when they have these guys who are like their faves, like, oh, we love James Woods, y'all don't see shit he in.
Mm-mm.
Like, y'all don't care about that man or keeping him in business. So I just think it was a stupid move on her part. But she got some big titties. She's blonde and she's white. She'll land on her feet or her boobs or whatever. Like, she'll be fine.
She'll be just fine.
Ryan Murphy shows are hit or miss for me. He's produced some amazing shows like The People vs. O.J. Simpson, Glee, and Pose. I do like the American Horror Story series, especially the Coven seasons with Angela Bassett, but his misses are usually not only misses but tone deaf. For example, he has a series called Monster. The first season he did with Jeffrey Dahmer's story. Second season he did the Menendez brothers, and the last season did Ed Gein. My biggest problem with Monster series, he cast conventionally handsome men to play these horrible people to make the audience empathize with these really horrible people. So you think he should look throughout Hollywood and find some ugly men? What are you saying about ugly people? That they are horrible? Ugly people, horrible people look ugly? I think you got to interrogate some things inside yourself about desirability. I'm still annoyed that some women were saying Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't so bad because the actor who played him, ignoring that this man targeted black queer men mostly for kill child. That's society's problem, not Ryan Murphy's problem. Of all the problems to have with Ryan Murphy, I feel like that's not a real problem. You mean he looked in Hollywood and hired handsome people? You mean the only people allowed to work in Hollywood? Who are the ugly motherfuckers that are like, you? Now you could be Jeffrey Dahmer. Look at your ugly ass. I definitely don't want a star. Definitely don't want anyone that people will recognize or go see this about. I want a nondescript ugly motherfucker. Just give me just the skin that look like a pork rind. Give me that person. That's the only kind of people that could be a serial killer. Now I've heard people that have problems with him, but he's hard to understand his fan base because I think he exists in a weird way, almost like Reddit, where everybody who watches his stuff seems to kind of hate him and his stuff, but they keep watching. And I don't know what that says about him because I actually like a lot of his stuff. I think it's actually really well done and thoughtful. But then there's stuff that is so not good that I don't watch it, so I don't stick around to give any in-depth opinion.
Right.
So like when I saw American Horror Story, the one about working at a carnivore or something, I watched like 2-3 episodes. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I'm good.
I don't even think this is good for me. I'm out. And I was out and I never looked back. So I'm sure if I kept watching and interrogating, I'm sure I'd find more bad stuff about it. But man, when he misses for me, it's a complete 100% total. I don't even give a fuck about this miss.
Right.
As opposed to some people where they miss and it's like they missed by a few degrees, but I'm gonna finish it, see where they went. But yeah, I like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. I thought it kind of bad rap with the online social media community, but I just think
that's
those
on
people,
Niecy Nash, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think those people was wrong, and I think if you watch the show, it actually addressed a lot of the stuff they claimed was wrong about it. The show was very aware and cognizant and intentional, which is kind of surprising because sometimes his art is like that, and I'm very impressed. Where I'm like, wow, he kind of covered his bases. I don't know who he hired to write this shit or whatever, but this was really well done and good. And then sometimes I'm like, did he even fucking think about this? Who are his people? Who are the consultants? So I don't know. And I think he did the Aaron Hernandez thing too, which I enjoyed. It wasn't like when you have the highs of The People versus O.J. Simpson, Versace, I would actually throw Jeffrey Dahmer's one in there. I know that's a bit controversial for y'all, but I actually thought it was great. It is hard when you miss, dog, because when you miss, it's like, how did you even make that other shit good? Like, this is a bad anyway. But this new series looks like a miss for me. I love Niecy Nash and Sarah Paulson, but when I saw Kim Kardashian was in it, I said no thanks. She was in another Ryan Murphy show and her acting was terrible, so I won't waste my time knowing it would irritate me whenever she's on screen. Life's too short to hate watch anything. Agreed, EV.
I 100% agree that if I don't like it or don't think I'ma like it, I won't watch it. Now, I might go back later on, and Roger will be like, hey, baby, this is actually really good, and we'll go back and watch it together.
Listen, Karen won't even watch Peacemaker. She don't give a fuck about good TV, and it's great. So she
and
don't,
everybody been raving about it. I'm like, I'd rather watch some more Issachar.
She didn't even understand what happened in Superman when he came on the screen. She didn't get it. She didn't understand. When the audience gasped and laughed, and it was like the funniest joke in the show. She don't know why. Eleanor says on YouTube, hey, what's up, yo? I caught the show early. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Thanks for the great show. Ramsey PH Dunn says Black Events by Lizzie took me past go and not collected $200. Yeah, that was funny as hell, but man. Paige says, I'm so bummed that the Democrats caved. I've been furloughed for over 40 days and I was hanging in because I believe the Dems were holding out for affordable health care. I'm so pissed they caved. We can't trust that the Republicans will honor their agreement. I'm sorry. I'm just so sad with what is happening. Damien says, unfortunately, we might assume this same posture after January 30th, 2026. We better prepare. Yeah, because that's another government potential shutdown happening then.
Yeah, and a lot of this is not trying to funny just to get us through the holidays so people can travel and do what they want to do. But, you know, when January come down, I could see it being another shutdown. And it's sad to say, I could see it. Like, each one possibly could just be longer than the last one.
I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. Like you said, all we can do is try to prepare for the worst. But I will say, man, I feel that getting on this microphone, I try to have an obligation to be truthful to people, but I'm not trying to be hurtful to people. And I think it's very cold calculus and cold math. And I think what happened is unfortunate for people, but I truly do believe in my heart of hearts, I don't have anything to prove it, but I believe that Schumer and them sat down at some point and said, let's get a blue wave and let's ensure that we're going to get a blue wave. And the only way to ensure that is to put people in a lot of pain through the government shutdown. And they won't reap or understand the benefits of this because this is a long-term thing that you won't really experience until you get representatives in there that are Democrats and try to offset or make better legislation in whenever everybody gets sworn in, which will be beginning of next year probably. And that's just not a message you can even say out loud to people because people just don't want to hear that shit.
They don't.
And I don't blame them for wanting to hear that shit, but they can't come to y'all and say your 40 days of pain was actually not really about us getting these extended subsidies for Obamacare. It was actually about us getting the votes in November, and we don't trust y'all to just do it if we do our jobs and keep the government open. We actually think a lot of y'all would be like, as long as my SNAP benefits is fine, I'm still gonna stay racist.
Yep, right.
And by y'all, I don't mean our audience.
Oh yes, but yeah, like in masses, and that's sad. But you know, I do actually.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're telling the truth, and that Schumer really just had 8 Democrats that were gonna go rogue at some point, and he sat them down and said, "Can y'all at least not go rogue until we get somewhere on health?" And they said it's been 40 days. We don't think we're ever going to get there. We're revolting against you and we're going to go ahead and cave. It's us 8 Democrats and everyone's going to call us weak and they're going to call the rest of y'all weak for not putting us under control, but that's it. And I do hear Schumer saying he's not running for re-election. That's the rumor. So if all that shit is true, then that's just the way it played out. That's unfortunate. And I still think we'll see what happens with Schumer and who takes his place, but I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards I think this is a sneaky way of doing something that's probably necessary for the country, and especially a country you can't trust to do the right thing. I don't feel comfortable that this country would have voted in a blue wave if not for the government shutdown, and that's sad that I feel that way.
100% agreed. I really do. Because the country has showed me as a totality, if everything is going well and everything is going right, people in the mass will not continue to vote for it going well and going right. Eventually, you know, white people TM will turn around and be like, oh, we're doing good, everything's right, so we can go back to our roots.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I don't.
When they do it takes a turn.
That's why I'm not yelling and cussing and telling everybody like oh fuck the goddamn, like I don't even know what to say. People's lives is on the line for real, and it's not a joke to me or just like a political rhetorical point that I can like dunk on somebody with and be like, I'm talking shit. Like I don't have any shit to talk, man. This whole thing was sad. It shouldn't ever have to get like this.
Agreed, and that's why I said it's some mixed emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's not a linear type of thing for me. Like I don't want people to be hurt, but at the same time, I was like, hold out as long as you can. At the same time, so. And it's one of those things where I'm like you, real people are being really impacted by these decisions that are made. But the truth be told, for a lot of people, that suffering is what made them take their asses to the motherfucking pole.
Let's see. Damien says, I really didn't see an off ramp for this shutdown. This version of the GOP has super blinders on. They were truly deaf to the suffering they are causing, and the folks at the top really seem to relish in it like hogs and slop. And the bill they signed only gives until January 30th, so we could be right back here in no time. I think this regime has also shown that people don't really understand what the oath of office really entails and requires from all of us. Too many are more worried about having a job and caring for self than taking a stand. Yeah, the politicians. A lot of these politicians are just avatars for us as people. If we don't take a stand in the voting booth, they don't take a stand for us. We are getting the representation that we vote for.
Yes, sir.
In a lot of cases. So even the Democrats that were sent there in the 8 that caved, quote unquote, even those 8 Democrats are representative of the people from their electorate, meaning that somebody or something has to reach those people to go, this is not good enough. You want to send somebody who's more of a fighter and more liberal than what you have sent. And depending on the demographics of the area, that could be a losing fight.
Yes.
Like we don't know enough individually. We just broadly have feelings about how things should go. So yeah, I like I said, man, it's just sad. I don't have
people who are hurting.
Yeah, I don't have some courageous speech or whatever. I don't have any smoke. Unlike a lot of people, I don't feel it was for nothing, but they didn't get the thing they said they wanted, was these Obamacare subsidies. And part of me just wonders if I could be a fly on the wall in there strategizing if they said, we know we're not getting this.
I can see them saying that.
Like Trump doesn't care. We know we're not. And honestly, when we get back in power, or not even power, back in session, what we're going to do is just pivot to the Epstein files, because that's a winning thing for us. And, the shit with Trump is not a win. Like this, the American people aren't doing enough to really put enough of us up here to give a fight that we need, that we would like to have, that we can win.
Right. And at the end of the day, the American people are literally in the driver's seat, and the American people en masse don't want to take responsibility, and they'll look at the politicians like, no, y'all drive the car. They're like, well, no, you don't understand. You actually are in control, because you're the one that determines who's here and who represents you, and all these fucking radical ass ideas you have. You have to put people in places that will press these issues.
Yeah, and we're all online talking to each other that already agree with each other, so we all subconsciously believe that our ideas are foolproof and that everyone agrees with them and knows that they're earnest and right, and that if you just fight on those ideas, everybody will come around to them. And that's just a function of our siloed internets.
Agreed.
Jason says, I'm kind of like y'all when it comes out, the shutdown ended. I'm not 100% either way. All I know is that this time last year we had Obamacare subsidies and SNAP benefits. Because of one party, we now had to choose between one or the other, but no one is talking about the party that's making us choose. This is seriously two-faced, blaming Batman for the Joker killing his lady. There is definitely a class division on the left that Republicans were able to exploit. It turned into a lot of people who need food today but also qualify for Medicaid versus people who won't be able to afford health care tomorrow but are eating fine today. Yep. Dastardly. I wouldn't put Lady Gaga in the stunt casting category. She earned some stripes. She definitely did, and I'm sorry. I apologize. She was great in
Versace?
Huh?
No, she was great in...
She was great in Star is Born.
Okay, Star is Born. Not Versace, my bad.
I saw that movie. It was great.
I did too.
She was good in the fucking fashion movie, the Italian fashion movie too.
It was Versace then.
Is that what I know? The movie I'm Yeah, maybe that was it, but I thought it was like House of Gucci or something.
Oh, okay, that's another one. Yes.
Versace, I didn't think she was in Versace.
Okay.
That's the Ryan Murphy thing about the killer.
Because I'm thinking Ryan Murphy. My bad.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, you're right. She's good, and I apologize. But Kim K definitely is. The guess the race about the mother who left the daughter at the gas station was a dead giveaway. That child had an iPad and a phone, and she was still talking back. I don't know how you keep finding stories with McJokes, but please keep it up. The story was wild. But the only thing more dangerous than McDonald's in Miami at midnight is any Church's Chicken in broad daylight. Oh, I hope we don't get a write-in from the Church's Chicken man like we did last time. Did I tell y'all that somebody left a message last time I made a joke about the Church's Chicken and was like, I worked at that Church's Chicken, it's safe, you racist son of a bitch. I was like, what? I can't make a joke? I was at the Church's Chicken, I ate there. You wasn't there that night.
No, you did not. That's hilarious.
And the joke was that I was too uptight about it. The joke was on me. God damn it, I hate you stupid motherfuckers that don't understand how a joke works.
Yeah, the joke was on you.
The joke was the other people was not getting out their cars because we all sitting around looking at each other probably being racist. It was like, oh no, it's too scary. It's black people sitting in cars and they not coming outside. It's like, right, it's 12 of us. Let's just go get our chicken. Nothing's going to happen to any of us. We're all safe. The poll. Should films with sex scenes require intimacy coordinators? 97% yes, 3% no.
I said yes. Yeah. Regardless, regardless of if you how they step in and all that stuff, I think they need to be present, because once you get to intimacy, you're talking about all types of stuff, and yeah, you need somebody.
And it's not always just sex either. But yeah, I agree. You need intimacy coordinators, I think, and it's better to have one and not need them than to need one and not have it.
Agreed. Reduces lawsuits.
I forgot the comments on Spotify. Shubudu says, I don't know. I got to see Lizzie's spice drawer and think about it. The Lizzie events for black folks. Big Bunny says, McFuneral had me in tears. Buddy got almost McShot. Did y'all hear the McRib is back? That sandwich has bad vibes. Another great episode. Man, I thought it was just me. I don't fuck with the McRib.
I haven't eaten in a long time.
I've had it before. It don't hit like whatever everybody else is tasting. I'm not tasting it. I don't know. I had it and I was like, I don't know. Feels like a lot of barbecue sauce on the bread bun.
With some pickles, yep.
Like this is not like, this can't be what but look, we all have different taste buds. I'm sure people are like, Rod, you really go up for the Taco Bell pizza? Yes, and I kill a motherfucker for it. So, I'm just a different person with different opinions. I'm not better than any of you.
Everybody loves something shitty.
Marvin W says, can you imagine if that woman's call had been answered by the McSheriff? Yeah, I hope the 911 calls don't go straight to him.
Would have exploded.
I don't need that. Like, he seemed like he don't take the crime too serious. I don't like that. All right, we gotta go to the voicemail line, but more commercials. That's Cyan Swing, I believe, by Infrared Crypto. All right, 2 voicemails. I believe you will be able to hear this because I'm in a different browser, but let me know in the chat room if you can't
Rod
hear.
And Karen, it's your Blue Wave. It's your boy, the Blue Wave Rider, back in your ear holes once again. First of all, I want to channel a little Mr. Span and say, fuck George Clooney from the bottom of my hairy balls.
Ha!
He was the one that started this mess with moving on from Biden. And after the election turned out the way he did, at one point he said he was done with politics. Just make some goddamn movies and keep your mouth shut. We don't need your opinion. We don't need your energy. Secondly, I was surprised you didn't do a election return podcast on Wednesday, but I know you're busy now, you got important stuff to do. But I was interested to hear your point of view about the election returns. And I kind of come to the conclusion, you're right. We can be cautiously optimistic, but American white people are kind of like rubber bands. They stretch way the hell out, and then they snap back. Now, this doesn't include the righteous whites, as Louis Daniel Favors calls. But if you righteous whites, then you agree with what I'm saying. And if you offended, you need to check your mentality. Last thing I wanted to say was, I didn't know, this is the first time I was hearing that you were losing subscribers because of the economy. That's kind of messed up, but I can understand it. And I like to encourage your listeners, myself included, to take some of that blackout Black Friday money and put a one-time gift on Rod and Karen's books so they can support the black guy who tips.
Aww.
That's all I got.
Sweet baby.
And I'm sure I'm under 3 minutes, so y'all have a good one. Out.
Man, that's very nice of you for all that. I love that righteous whiteous. That's hilarious. Loree Daniels is hilarious for that. What I was gonna say is like, I also found out you can gift people subscriptions through Patreon. Like I think maybe you have to like hit me up to be like, here's the money, and then I have to create the link and then send it to the person. I think that's how it works. But yeah, so like somebody's already done that with two subscribers. Like, so, and like, you know, I get it. Like, I feel like we're still in a very privileged situation, like to even be able to make a living off of doing this podcast. Right. And you know, what's funny is like when I log into like the PayPal account to be like, hey, this is the, you know, here's how much you got, here's the transactions. It tells me like, last month you had this many people, this month you got this many people, you know, so like it's keeping track of that stuff. But yeah, it's just a matter of it's above us, and I don't know anybody that is like, if you're flourishing right now, good for you, but I don't know how you would be flourishing in this economy with something that deals with people, and we know people are hurting.
Right.
And I'm not like some hyper capitalist person that's like the game to be sold. I mean, I'm not working for free, don't get me wrong, but I'm not so like caught up in it. I only ever bring that up on the show not to tell y'all like we really need some money. It's more like to say like, even what you would assume would not be affected is affected. So all of this is connected. So when you see people that almost seem as if they're like above it, or they're talking in theory, I don't know how they're able to do that, because, you know, let's say you had a Sirius XM show. You're probably seeing people that had to cancel their Sirius XM because that was a luxury and I lost my job. Or I used to listen to it. I used to listen to it in my work car, and now I don't have a work car because I don't work. Like, you know, hey, 40 days of no pay from the government. I got to tighten the belt a little bit. This $15 gonna have to go, as along with this Netflix and this. And then other stuff is just rising. Food costs, all the streaming service costs, all of this stuff is going up, and people having to make decisions they didn't necessarily have to make even a year ago.
Agreed.
And this is 10 months into this administration, meaning it's probably gonna get worse before it gets better. Shout out to like I said, we have the best listeners. I didn't suggest to like, hey man, some people got to give up their membership, so if y'all want to help them out, a person hit me up like, how can I help? You know, how can I? And I was like, oh, I still have a couple of those people's email addresses that canceled, that ironically wrote these kind like, hey, I'm sorry, I got to cancel. I was like, you don't need to do that. Like, you don't need to explain. Like, because it's your money. It's not like I write Netflix and be like, guys, going down the service. You know,
stuff happens.
But they did it anyway, and in a weird way, I'm thankful that those people did, because I could get back to at least two of them to be like, hey, would you like the Patreon? A listener has dedicated that for you, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, man, I do, you know, and yeah, be intentional with your money and all that stuff. We're just one outlet. Like, there's so many places, but let me tell you this: as a Patreon, we're not just on Patreon as a business. We're on Patreon as people, meaning I listen to and support a lot of shows because I want them to be there.
Me too, through Patreon.
And it is easy in the world where we're inundated with so much content, much of it being low quality content, and people will watch any fucking thing these days. But there's times where it's just like you need to be intentional to let people know, like, I need you here.
Yes.
You know, so there's people on Patreon I support that's just like, hey, I need y'all to know I need y'all's voices out there existing, because y'all are a place I go to for a refuge.
Yes.
At times, to be like, thank you for existing in the way you do. And if that means, you know, X amount of dollars a month to make sure y'all out there, it's not something we just say for ourselves selfishly. It's something we practice and preach at the same time. All right, he left one more voicemail.
Hey, Ralph, back in your ear holes. I just finished listening to George Clooney's uncle. No. John Stewart's uncle.
Yes.
And he was talking about his uncle was three-dimensional, and he loved it, and he couldn't put him out of his life. Well, I tell y'all what. You want to know who else was three-dimensional? Tamika Mallory, the founders of Black Lives Matter. Here's the one. George Floyd. Now, he supposedly had a police record. I can't say for sure, but he was three-dimensional. You know, Trayvon Martin was three-dimensional. Check this out. Any of your so-called woke associates who vote Democrat, they're also three-dimensional, which is probably why they vote Democrat to begin with. So, you know, this BS about, oh, he's three-dimensional and I love him, boo-hoo-hoo. That's just another way of saying, I don't want to disown this dude. I don't want to check him for his ignorance. So we just going to use kumbaya and all that just to excuse this person's presence in our life. And I mean, don't get me wrong. You can do what you want. If you want a whack-ass grandpa or uncle in your life, so be it.
Right.
But that door swings both ways, you know. And anyway, that, you know, you say stuff like that when you don't want to confront what's going on, the ideas and mentalities that you have swimming around in your own head. So that's it. I'm out. Bye.
That was put perfectly.
Thank you, baby.
That was put perfectly. That is the truth. And they don't want to be honest with themselves, so they lie to all of us. And that is the weakness of a lot of these sort of white liberals. They pretend to be like progressive, radical type people, but they're not really radical or that progressive. And by pivot, this is, you know, and like I keep trying to put it into words, and I hope I'm doing justice to it, but this is the realization I had about politicians in general as a concept a few years back. I was like, oh, the politicians are there, so we won't admit we're killing each other.
Right.
Like, Jon Stewart gets to be mad at Schumer like Jon Stewart is different or better than Schumer. But the truth of the matter is, Schumer's probably done more for me and you than Jon Stewart's ever done by sitting behind a desk making jokes.
All right.
Like, and I'm not a Chuck Schumer apologist. I'm just saying these are facts to me. Like, this ain't about standing for politicians or loving them as people. I'm saying they exist so that you can tell me the reason we aren't in a more perfect union is because this politician fucked up, not because you and your fucking uncle have to eat Thanksgiving today. It can't be that, right? It's gotta be Nancy Pelosi. It's gotta be Jasmine Crockett.
Their avatars for, instead of pointing the finger at your fellow, like the people like around you that you come in contact with every day in your local communities, people that you go to church with, people that you meet at the grocery store, your nice neighbor, whatever it is, instead of you pointing the finger at them, you can take that anger and point it at an avatar.
Because your uncle can't be a bad person.
Right.
Because that's your uncle.
Right.
But Chuck Schumer's not my uncle or yours, so you get to shit on him. Barack Obama's not my uncle or yours, so you get to shit on him. Meanwhile, they have actually worked in this framework to try to do more for you than so many other people, put more on the line. But they're not perfect, and they didn't get it all, and they didn't do it easily, and they fought, and they didn't not always came back home with the results you like. So you just get to sit home on your privileged ass seat and be like, I ordered Swiss cheese. Like that's the real problem. And so the real problem is that there's not a zero tolerance in life or politically for this shit. Our weakness is showing up in politics. It's not disconnected. You can't be personally weak but expect a country to be politically strong against things you aren't striding against. That's the realization I had. I know people that are, there's probably people that stop listening. They probably think I'm some sort of like Democratic apologist. I think I'm just the realest motherfucker in the world when it comes to this. Like, I'm the last one that's just willing to be like, no, it's not. We could easily get on here and just bang on Democrats like every other fucking show.
Right.
And get bigger and more popular with their low information, lack of specificity talking that they do. That very like, I don't really need to know. Get it done. Do something. Make it like, it's so fucking easy.
It is.
It's so easy. You know, people that they want, we talk about hip hop and sometimes we talk about politics, you know, that type of shit. Like we don't know nothing. But like to know the specifics and be like, this is where this is fucked up and this is what I think would change it, or that is not sexy.
No.
Like we instead,
very boring.
We
right?
make it seem like basically the Democrats are just bitches who don't want it enough, like the rest of us who got that dog in us. It doesn't matter your constituency, what area of the country you're in.
Right.
It's all Twitter to us. It's all Twitter to us, meaning that every area of America has the same moral dogma and the same makeup and the same progressive values, and for some reason these Democrats just don't understand, because we don't want to admit we live in a country where some of our fellow country people love guns more than they love children.
Yeah, they do.
We don't want to admit that that's real, that has consequences other than just the Thanksgiving awkward conversation.
Right.
That's what bothers me about this shit, and I think you got at the heart of that, which is I've never heard Jon Stewart, or I shouldn't say I never heard that. I'll just say Jon Stewart's not going to stop and make the case for Tamika Mallory that he makes for his uncle necessarily, or if he does, he will think he has done his job, meaning I made the case for George Floyd and my uncle. That is America. To which I would say that is not fairness. That's not truth. That's not reality. Making the case for a person who's a victim of a crime, and also, matter of fact, I'll go one further, man. Y'all know how I feel. I love Obama, greatest president of my lifetime. But I think one of the biggest things he did that was so smart, but also kind of cynical, when he gave a speech about Jeremiah Wright and he compares him to his racist grandmama, and that allowed white people especially to feel really good, and that's why they voted for him. And they should, I mean, listen, that's kind of shit you got to do to win president. I get it. I'm not crazy, but it allows the lie to fester, which is that everything Jeremiah Wright has seen that led him to say goddamn America is completely different than what a white woman who doesn't like black people has seen to make her not like black people. Those two things are not related. Okay? One of these people is informed with their personal and historical context to be like, this is a country that has done a lot of evil to a lot of people and it's not okay, and I'm saying damn them for that. And the other person is like, I heard black people are bad and their skin color and this culture makes them bad and I'm prejudging them for that. Two different things to me. But that's the lie of America, and that's what has to exist for us to, I guess, continue to breathe air around each other without killing each other every day, which we are doing in mass shootings. But the point being, this is the lie that everything is built on, is this sort of weird ass fake camaraderie where Jon Stewart gets to tell me his uncle is great, but think I'm supposed to give a fuck about that. Anyway, that's so thank you. You put it better than I did. I'm sorry. That was long. Lastly, we got some emails. I'll play one more beat in case I decide to put commercials here. Crystal says, sharing this reel actually verbalizes, I guess, some issues I've noticed regarding social media regarding the hyperbole of stories. I occasionally see obviously fake stories that people are arguing in the comments about and everyone knows is fake, I hope. But argument is always, but I know a friend who knows a friend who this happened to, regardless how ridiculous the situation is. Then you got dozens of hundreds of comments of arguing over a completely made up scenario that in nowhere in human history ever happened. I feel like the psychology of this permeates everything from LGBTQ rights to racism to relationships. Anyways, thought this would be something you would be interested in. And there was a Facebook link to a video about, I think it was like about coffee or something, where this guy was explaining how this cartoon, let me see if I can pull it up for you guys, but it's a little long. I don't know if I'll play the whole thing, but I'll play enough for y'all to at least get the gist of what she wrote in about. Okay. So is author Jason K. Pargan, and he's explaining there's a cartoon that says, can I interest you in a soy latte? And the guy says, just coffee, black. She says, caramel macchiato, just coffee, black. Iced peppermint tea, mocha, just coffee, black. Frappe. And then there's a woman in the background like, just give him the coffee already or whatever. And 100%, this scenario has never happened to anyone in the history of life. We've all ordered a coffee before. No one's ever forced us to get a different kind of coffee than the one that we ordered.
Right, because they's like, we're trying to get you in and out of here. I don't have time to I'm not trying to upsell you on
so this things. Is just literally like a made up scenario. Now look, maybe this is a comedic comic strip, and we're supposed to just take a chuckle of like, wouldn't it be crazy if this did happen? But out of context, someone's presenting this like, God, I hate this scenario. Oh wait, how do I turn the volume? Okay, there we go.
The day is in this comic right here. This boomer comic has been making the rounds on Facebook for at least a decade, and it portrays a brave older Marine in a coffee shop where the barista says, can I interest you in a soy latte? He says, no, just coffee, black. Caramel macchiato? Just coffee, black. Iced peppermint mocha? Just coffee, black. Frappe? Now the first thing you'll notice is that this scenario has never occurred once anywhere in the history of the world. And if you say, well yeah, but it's just a joke, I'm saying the thing that it's exaggerating has never occurred. But the perception of the world that caused the artist to create this and motivated people to share this millions of times is incredibly important. Because in reality, no one ever took his black coffee from him. Every shop like this has black coffee. He can also get it at any gas station or any McDonald's drive-thru or from home. All that happened is the range of options for other people expanded, and he perceived that as persecution, as his choice having been taken away. This is not political. This is a human nature thing. Most people are not satisfied to simply have the option to live their life the way they want.
Oh, now that he's moved his head, I see the woman behind the person in the line in the comic strip actually says, for crying out loud, make up your mind and order. So like she's part of the problem. She's yelling at him. He just wants a black coffee, and she, as a customer, she's turned on him somehow.
They also want to feel normal. They want to walk around and see that most other people have made the same choice they made. And if over time they see that their own personal preference has become less popular and even worse, is now seen as being basic or unsophisticated, they will perceive the mere existence of those other options as a criticism of them, even if they've never heard anybody voice that criticism. This is why it's so important for some people to imagine the archetype of the angry vegan. Even though, one, I have never run into one of those people in real life, not even once. And two, meat statistically is more popular now than it has ever been in the history of the world. There is basic psychological comfort in knowing that you're conforming to what the world wants and in the reassurance that that world is not going to change. And this is why it doesn't help to simply tell people you can keep doing the thing you were doing. No one's stopping you from drinking your coffee. Because it's not about the coffee. It's the fear that if everybody else stops drinking coffee the way I drink it, then I will become an outcast. And that is scary to someone who suddenly is remembering how they have always treated outcasts.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next thing. Brichette writes in, or Bree writes in, "Hi Rod and Karen, my name is Bree and I'm an avid listener and a roller coaster enthusiast / content creator. I'm listening to the episode that mentioned Six Flags America closing. This was my home park all my life. A home park is usually the amusement park closest to you or the one you grew up going to the most." So ours would be Carowinds.
Yes, ours would be Carowinds.
The closing was a corporate decision that was decades in the making due to lack of investment, which caused lower attendance. Those of us in the coastal community believe racial bias and the demographic the park served to be a huge component. Oh, not the coastal community. I'm saddened by this because now I have to drive 80 miles to the next closest park when Six Flags America was only 25 minutes away. Our community in the DMV lost a childhood staple. Along with losing the Commanders, this is a big loss for the PG County. With all that said, yes, roller coasters and rides can be moved to new locations. They are carefully disassembled and reassembled in the new foundations at the new location. This could be another park at another park in Six Flags chain or another amusement operator. They could even be sold to a park overseas. For an example, closer to your home, the Nighthawk roller coaster that used to be at Carowinds came from California originally. Yeah, I might put it back here behind the apartment. Thanks for covering this niche news that hit close to home. P.S. I think you follow my roller coaster IG account 0_Bree_roll. Oh, I do follow you. I did not know you listen to the show. But I definitely be liking y'all's videos because it's really just like black women twerking at the amusement park, which I mean, it's black women twerking. You kind of got me into all of it, you know what I mean? Like I'll show y'all one of the videos, but anytime they come across my feed, I always throw them a heart emoji. But yeah, putting the Fiesta in Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Look, it's just black women walking around twerking and enjoying the park. Yes, this is 100% my type of carrying on right here.
Ain't that the truth? At the amusement park, let's go.
Y'all done broke my IG model algorithm to get up in there too. Like, yeah. So yeah, I know y'all's account, okay? Not to sound like a creep. But yes, it was black women twerking. I was like, what is this now? Roller coasters? It really wouldn't matter what it was, honestly. Once you add black women twerking to it, I'm like, okay, so we doing pan fried dumplings and twerking? Okay, fine.
Yeah, roller coasters, twerking. I'm here for it.
Nichelle says, "Hey, Rod and Karen. At first, when you started talking about Max B, I wanted to yell, who? Like Karen does with Who News. But I trust your commentary, so I just said, let Rod cook. I was listening to the pod as I was leaving for work, so I had to pause the pod and screenshot what you said. There's a nihilism in not needing to have a solution, but being upset at the problem. In rap terms, that was a bar." Thank you. I be thinking about stuff. The burn it down to the ground folks on social media have no tangible solution for what comes next. Incremental change may seem too slow to them, but there's something to be said about how slow and steady wins the race. If we were consistently voting in every election due to down to public service commission, then we would be able to see some results. It really is true. It really is scary how true that is. It's like, if our wherewithal was just a little stronger, we wouldn't even have nothing to fight about.
We wouldn't. You know what? We would be going, how left can you go? Like honestly, like a lot of the people that like extreme left, they were like, y'all not left enough. If people were consistent, if people continually vote regardless, on cycle, off cycle, all the cycles and shit like that, we would literally be duking it out to see how left can we go.
That's what Republicans accomplished through gerrymandering. So basically they made districts where no Democrat can win.
Right.
And once they rigged it that way, what their elections became is what person can be the most right-wing crazy pants. And that's how you end up with people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and
started with the Tea Party.
All these folks that were like, how the hell is, because that person that first had that seat was not crazy.
No, they were
like
not.
That first person, when they gerrymandered that shit, gerrymandered themselves out of a job because they were like, oh yeah, I'm a reasonable Republican and I'll represent my district. But what they found is when there's only competition from the right, you just keep going right. So America could have a more left-leaning country if people decided to keep that same energy it shouldn't take the government shutting down and 10 months of this administration back in office for America to have a blue wave. But somehow that's what it keeps fucking taking. We also had a blue wave 2 years after Trump got elected the first time. I'm sick of these rubber bands snapping back trying to make it up to everybody. Why can't you just keep this same energy? And we, instead of blaming the people, blame the politicians. It's the people. I keep the same energy. I don't need a politician to keep and put a battery in my fucking back. The message don't need to reach me through, oh man, I was only going to vote because so-and-so gave a good speech. That's some real privileged bullshit. Anyway. Stripping video from audio the easy way. This is from Zoe at Backlook Cinema. It says, Dear Rod, in the previous episode of your show, you mentioned an issue using Headliner to strip the video of your podcast episode and upload it to YouTube, only to find a Headliner added a bunch of ads to your audio. That's a sucky thing for Headliner to do. Luckily, there's an easier way to do it yourself. Someone else probably told you already, but in case they haven't, they haven't. Audible is a great way to strip the video from your show. For those that don't know, Audible is a free audio editing software that many podcasters use. There's no ads, no subscriptions, and it's routinely updated every 6 months or so. It so happens that the best freely available software that I've ever used. Audible? I thought Audible was the company for books and shit.
I guess it must be a different version of Audible. I guess they made an agreement. We don't go on your turf and you don't go on our turf.
To strip the video out, all you have to do is drag and drop your video file into Audible. The app will automatically strip out the video and leave you with a WAV file that you can use to mix and edit. Once you're satisfied with the audio, all you have to do is export it to MP3. Oh, but that's the thing. I had the MP3. I didn't have the video. So I had the opposite problem. But you said you can upload an MP3 file to YouTube. I didn't know you could do that. Maybe I'll try directly uploading the MP3 to YouTube and see if maybe that works. Because I didn't know you could do that part. If that's the part, if that's all I got to do, I'll just do that next time.
Might be better off.
Because what I did was I had Headliner turn my audio into a video. So it was the opposite issue. But thank you for writing in. I'll see what I can do. Not that you'll need to do this anytime soon. This method is available if you need it. Also, being able to strip the audio from the video with CapCut using different steps. Hope this has been helpful. Also, if there's a woman wearing nipple rings in a way that I can see them, I'm going to look. I won't have any shame about it, and I won't apologize. Nipple rings are like, hey, look at us. I see that as an invitation. In fact, it might be culturally insensitive if I don't stare and admire with what's being put on display. You know what? I think you're right. But I also am scared. I think you're right, though. I think when you leave a house with the nipple ring, like, prominently displayed, it's y'all gonna get these titties day for you. Mm-hmm. And I think, my guess is, I don't have nipple rings, so maybe I'm wrong completely. But my guess is, you walking around like, y'all better see these titties. What the fuck?
I didn't get these nipple rings for
like,
nothing.
I hope y'all don't think I just walked up in here titties just tittying with the motherfucking nipple rings, accoutrements like pow pow pow, and y'all just looking me dead in my eyes. I want to see y'all struggle to look me in my eyes. I want to see that. I want to see your face go through that like, what? Yes, ma'am. What's on the ceiling? I need to see that.
What's on the ceiling?
You know, I'm oh man, you guys find out so much about me through this show, but that's the kind of integrity and honesty you guys plant. Like, that's what y'all need. That's what y'all come here for. That's what makes us different. But one of the groups I'm in Reddit, and by group I mean I never comment, I just thumbs up or whatever, arrow up, is No Bra. That's a great group. And it's just women posting like, went braless today, and then one of the women posted of a dress that was kind of like, it was a dark dress, but it was almost see-through-ish, like not
completely, yeah,
but it was see-through-ish.
Like
and she clearly went on a date with someone. They took a picture of her in the dress without her face, but just where on the table you can see basically titties in the dress. And she was like, our waiter could barely pay attention. And I was like, she did this on purpose? Because I'm the kind of person that would be a waiter, but I have anxiety, and I'd be like, oh my God, that woman thinks I'm a fucking pervert because I'm trying not to look at it. It's like she wants me looking at her titties. Am I making this up?
Right.
Why would any woman, she's on a date with her husband, he's gonna punch me in my fucking face. Oh God, please, I hope I never had to go back to this table. And meanwhile, she's like, take a picture. We're gonna post this on the Reddit. He can't stop looking at these titties. Oh, we got him, honey. We got his ass today. Like, anyway.
Oh, just fucking with people.
I was like, that's funny. But that's funny. So many women are walking around, and y'all could just like, as a prank, be walking around and be like, hey, today is a day I feel like fucking with everybody. Y'all gonna get these titties. Let's just see how the day goes. What a fun experience it must be. All right, y'all, that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll be back throughout the week. I know Tuesday for sure we have Mike Kaplan as a guest on the 18th.
Yay!
So make sure you're there for that, because you know we love Mike Kaplan.
We do.
And everything else is just as needed, okay? We might be going to Hornets games. We might not. I don't know. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.